If you want to get somewhere in life, it's going to take some sacrifice. Nothing will be handed to you. There is nothing free in this world. You're going to work for what you want. Even Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach, knew that. He had a purpose in mind of saving the world. And he knew that wasn't going to come by him just thinking about it or him just desiring. He knew that it was going to take a sacrifice. He knew he had to sacrifice something to get what he wanted. And he gave himself up to save the world. He had to sacrifice himself to save the world. So I'm telling you, like, if you want something, it's going to take some sacrifice. It ain't going to be handed to you. It's not going to be easy. Even the most perfect man that ever lived, he knew it was going to take a sacrifice to get what he wanted done. And we ain't nowhere near him. And if he had to sacrifice himself, just know you got to sacrifice something in your life to get what you want. I had to sacrifice a lot of things in my life. I was addicted to marijuana. I was addicted. I was on it every day. And I knew if I was going to want to get a better job, eventually I was going to have to stop. Like, I was smoking every day, losing jobs, getting popped up with drug tests, can't take them because I knew I couldn't pass them. Missing opportunities from working. I was driving trucks, missing opportunities from driving trucks with Lowe's because of my habit. So I had to sacrifice my habit to get where I am today. I would not be where I am today if I had not sacrificed marijuana. If I had not sacrificed going out or spending money. I had to sacrifice those things to get where I'm at and to get where I'm going. And you're going to have to do the same thing for whatever you're desiring in life. You're going to have to put some things down. If you want to save your relationship, you're going to have to put some things down. If you want to build things, you're going to have to put some things down. It ain't going to be handed to you. Nothing is going to be easy. You have to sacrifice. Them guys in the NFL just ain't get there because they wanted to get there or they showed up to practice one time. No, they was practicing every day, working out every day, running every day to get to the NFL. And you can't get that better position at your job unless you work hard at it. You can't get that marriage you want unless you work hard at it. You can't get that house you want unless you work hard at it. You got to put money up here. You got to work a little extra here. Like, nothing ain't going to be easy, man. It takes sacrifice. I have to force myself to do things I don't want to do half the time. Half the time I don't feel like recording. Half the time I don't feel like talking. But I know I got to water my gift. I know I got to water my dream. Because if I ain't going to water it, then it's not going to grow. It's not going to grow. So I have to sacrifice my feelings, how I'm feeling that day, to still show up. And if you don't show up, nothing ain't going to happen for you. If you don't water in what you're doing, it ain't going to grow. It's a seed, man. Once you put that seed in the ground, you got to continue water it every day, every day. If there's no water, there's no growth. If you're not working, you can't grow. If you ain't sacrificing, you can't get nowhere. You're going to have to put some things down, and you got to figure out what that is for you. You got to write some things down and figure out what you got to cut off. I had to figure out what I had to cut off in my life. Was I spending too much time on social media? Was I talking on the phone too much? Was I spending too much time on the internet? Was I watching too much ESPN? You have to figure out what that is for you so that you can meet your goals. Because you ain't going to meet your goals if you ain't putting some stuff down. You can't get your education if you ain't putting some stuff down. You got to cut some things off for you to meet your expectations. You have to. You want to meet your budgeting goals for the month? Guess what? You got to look at where your money going to so you can meet them goals. Because if you ain't tracking it, you ain't going to save no money. You got to start sacrificing some things to get what you want, man. I don't know what you want in your life, but you got to figure out what you want. You got to figure out what you want today and start looking at what you need to cut off in your life, man. Because, I mean, ain't nobody gonna push you to do it. You have to push yourself. I have to push myself to go to work in the morning. I have to push myself to love when I don't feel like it. I gotta push myself to close my mouth when I feel like popping off. I have to sacrifice, because if I know I don't sacrifice, it's gonna cause something else. If I don't put things down, it's gonna cause something else. So you gotta look at some things in your life, some areas in your life that you need to shed off, man. I mean, you need to look at it. I mean, you ain't gonna be perfect. You still gonna fall. You still gonna stumble. I mean, I just ain't quit smoking over the night. I didn't. I mean, I still had hiccups, and I don't judge nobody who is doing that. But for me in my life, I had to put it down to get where I'm at and to get where I'm going. I had to put some things down. And you're gonna have to do the same thing. I don't know if that's your thoughts. I don't know if that's your surroundings. You may have to cut your friends off. You might have to cut family off. If they putting negative influence on you, you might have to shut them off. You might have to sacrifice your relationship just so you have a better relationship with your wife, with your kids, even with your job or whatever you're trying to do, your business. Some things are distractions in your life and you have to cut them off. That could be family, that could be friends, that could be going out. You got to look at what's distracting you away from your purpose, away from your calling. For me, it was ESPN, watching the games, drinking, smoking. I mean, that was my downfall. Women, I had to slowly cut that stuff off, man. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get somewhere, I'm telling you, it ain't gonna happen if you ain't sacrificing. It ain't gonna happen if you ain't sacrificing. If you ain't working, if you ain't grinding, it ain't gonna happen for you. It's not gonna happen. You can't be the number one in your industry, whatever you doing, if you ain't working, if you ain't grinding, if you ain't putting in no effort. It's gonna take some effort from you. You're gonna have to put forth some effort if you want some things to change in your life. You're gonna have to put forth effort. I had to put forth effort to get where I'm at today. And I'm still not perfect. I'm still working. I'm still struggling. I'm still grinding. But you're gonna fall, but you have to get back up. You gotta get back up. You might mishandle money for a little while. You might mess up. You might go over your budget. You might spend everything. You might hit rock bottom. I've been rock bottom. I had to reach out to family for money. That's a hard thing to do. But I had to learn from my experiences that I don't want to be there no more. I had to look back, oh man, well, Darius need to cut back from that. Because that's what caused Darius to be broke. And I don't like being broke. That's a disturbing feeling for me. I don't like being broke. So I had to look at what was causing me to be broke so I don't be broke anymore. And you got to look at what's causing you in your situation to be bad and start eliminating those things that's causing your situation to be all toxic and mess up. If that's in your relationship, if that's in business or family or a job, whatever you have going on, man. It's time to start cutting some things off. It's time to start sacrificing so you can get where you need to go in life. Because you ain't gonna get there if you don't start looking in your life. You have to start examining yourself. Start examining yourself, your heart, your mind, your attitude towards things so you can get where you have to go. I mean, just like a car, you take it to the shop. Guess what? The mechanic got to examine it. To start working on things that need to be worked on. You need to start working on the things you need to be working on right now. You don't need to be waiting. You don't need to be putting that off. It's time now while you have opportunity with all this stuff going on with the coronavirus, while you sit down, start working on it now.